Thank you. Parents, students, teachers, all working hard right now to figure out what returning to school is going to look like in the next few weeks.
But this morning we are taking a closer look at the struggles children with special needs are facing.
So we're happy to be joined by NBC News Chief Foreign Correspondent Richard Engel with us this morning, sharing his personal experience with his son Henry. He's live with us this morning. Henry has a neurological disorder. It's called Rett syndrome, and he needs therapies to help with his disabilities.
And like many other kids, his therapies were put on hold because of COVID-19. And while we've talked a lot about virtual learning and what local schools are doing, that may not be a viable option for some families. So he's joining us live this morning. Richard, thank you for joining us. It's so much of this conversation about schools reopening is focused on mainstream education. What should people know when it comes to special education?
Well, kids with special needs are really suffering right now. When normal mainstream kids are not going to school, they miss out, there's no doubt. They miss out on education opportunities for socialization and maturity. When kids with complex physical or emotional needs aren't getting the therapies, the physical therapy, the occupational therapy that they require to keep their bodies and minds really sharp and functioning, or to the best of their ability, they can go backwards. Their bodies can deteriorate. They can develop scoliosis. Their hips can get out of alignment. They can lose the ability to communicate. They can, what scientists call, regress. And it is a significant problem. And many doctors and special needs advocates are complaining that parents are watching their children right now not being able to get the therapies they need and regressing. And that is an enormously stressful thing to do. So this morning we're sharing our story, our experiences with Henry. Henry's nearly 5 years old. He has severe special needs. He's nonverbal, non-mobile. We've been lucky to be able to keep up some of his physical therapy, but other therapies that he received at school, and a lot of people receive all their therapies at school, just aren't happening right now. And it's been an extra strain throughout this community, and it is different. It is different than just missing an opportunity that school provides. There is this real danger of causing permanent damage to these children because they're not getting therapies.
Richard, since Henry was born, you have shared multiple times on air and on social media some of the steps that your family has taken to help him get what he needs and to help his life get a little bit better every day. Parents know that repetition is so much about teaching your children what they need and giving your children what they need. Give us a sense of just how much Henry does from a therapy standpoint, how often he's getting this help pre-COVID. What was his schedule like, for lack of a better term?
Pre-COVID, his schedule was busy. We did 7, 8, 10 therapy sessions a week. Therapy for a lot of special needs children, especially ones who don't have a lot of mobility, is their opportunity to play. It is their opportunity to change their schedule. So we would do hydrotherapy in a pool. That's closed. We would do horse therapy, and the rocking motion is good for core strength. It's also something fun and interesting when you can smell the horse and be in an outdoor environment. That's not happening. Lots of the interactions that he was getting at school, these serendipitous encounters with other children, that's not happening. We've been able to keep up some of his physical therapy, but frankly, we've been doing that privately at our own expense. And a lot of families aren't in the position to do that. So it is an enormous challenge. And it is not just a loss of this educational opportunity. Without these therapies, each day that they're missing is a day lost that is very difficult for them to recover again.
Richard, are there any of the therapies that you've been able to continue to do, apart from physical therapy, any of the therapies that you would have done during the school day at home?
We have been working hard at it. My wife, Mary, who makes an appearance in this piece coming up on the Today Show, she's still nervous about that. She's been working 24/7, and she does a lot of online learning, but a lot of children don't respond. Special needs children don't respond to remote learning. It's tough for adults. It's tough for regular kids to sit in front of a computer. What if your body, as Henry's body is, isn't well suited to sit in a chair for a long time? He can't hold his head up straight for a long time to look at a screen. Children with autism who have difficulty with change are now, we've spoken to doctors, who are now having more outbursts. They're having more self-harm episodes because if they couldn't deal with change before, now their entire schedules, their entire lives have been uprooted. And a lot of advocates say that this community is not getting the attention right now in this national debate about how and when to open schools.
There's so many ripple effects of this pandemic, and children with special needs have to be a part of this conversation. Thank you, Richard Engel, for sharing your family's story with us and joining us this morning.
Of course, you can see Richard's full report this morning on the Today Show at 7 a.m. right here on 41 Action News.